one of my own, sort of personal favorite memorable moments was, the self-steering has broken, but because my friend gave me the book with a piece of rubber hose, I can make self-steering work. And now Theo is lazily going along, maybe halfway between between Hawaii and San Francisco. And this is the area where you're the furthest from land in all directions on Earth that's possible. So it was kind of fun to think about that. And there's barely any wind. The sea is kind of glassy smooth, but there's just enough to keep kind of going along. And out in front of the boat, there's some activity. And I don't know what it is exactly. And we're getting closer, and I think the sun is going down, so the light's coming through the water a certain way. And now I can see there are some smaller fish that are trying to jump. Why are they jumping? And then it appears that, oh no, there's this smaller shark that's working its way through a school of fish and just picking off whatever he can pick off. And these fish are jumping, hoping to, escape it. So I'm sitting there watching this and conscious of myself watching it. And because I've been doing celestial navigation, and because when you do celestial navigation, okay, so here's the Earth, there's a line from the sun, a theoretical line from the sun to the center of the Earth. It goes through the surface of the Earth at a particular point. And it's important that you know about that point, because when you make the calculation, that point comes into play. And anyway, it's too complicated to, I don't really understand it, but to go into it. But anyway, I had been thinking about myself with respect to the sun and this angle into the Earth. And when you make the celestial calculation, there's an angle which you say, never mind about that. It's too small to matter. Forget that. So I'm watching the fish. I'm realizing that there's a shark hunting in the fish. And I'm thinking about seeing it from the sun, the distance of the sun. And from the distance of the sun, what distinguishes what's going on here? There's the fish in flight. There's the shark that's after the fish, trying to consume it. There's me watching it. There's the whole, ecosystem. And the conclusion I came to, like discarding this angle in the calculation, the conclusion I came to was there's really no difference among the creatures except what it is we're after. Because that was the only difference between kind of the three characters in my little scene, the fleeing, the pursuing, the observing. And that was a moment when I felt, aha. So what it's really about is, what do I care about? What do I care about? That's what distinguishes me in the universe, in which by that time I've already learned the lesson that even though the guys who teach you navigation say things like, the sea lies in wait for the unwary, but she stalks the reckless. And you think, oh my God, they're after me, No, it's not true. The sea is completely indifferent. You couldn't find anything more indifferent, less malevolent, less cruel, but that's the way man has tended to characterize it, So I'm sitting there at this moment thinking, there's actually a universe of indifference. What really matters is the motive from inside to say, I want to make this happen. If I think about what I came back with that was really different, there was that. There was also Murdock, the developer in Hawaii, who was a really interesting, strange cat. Very, very successful guy, by some standards anyway. I think now in the top, 200 wealthiest men in the world, vitally healthy in his 80s, who said to me, oh, well, now you've sailed here by, I managed to get an interview with him because I wanted to understand what he was doing on Lanai, and he gave me an audience, but it was in that he said, well, you understand something now that a lot of people don't understand. He said, it's not wrong to have an ego, it's wrong to have no ego. The most important thing is act to be. And that phrase really stuck with me as I thought about it later. Yes, act to be. But to be what? Aha, yeah, that's it. What's your answer to that? Because if you matter, that's why.